Imagine waking up each morning thinking you're safe in your own home, only to learn later that someone had been standing just feet from your bed, watching you. Not just once, not by accident, but for weeks. Every night, while you slept, someone stood in the shadows, silently memoizing the rhythm of your breathing, the sound of your dreams, the way you curled into your sheets. This isn't a ghost story. This isn't urban legend. This is real. And it happened to Samantha Pierce, a kind, driven, compassionate young woman who wanted nothing more than to help children. But her life took a dark turn when she unknowingly attracted the attention of a deeply disturbed man, someone whose obsession would grow into a terrifying, violent fixation. Over the next hour, we'll uncover how Samantha's nightmare unfolded, what signs were missed, how the criminal justice system nearly failed her, and how her bravery in the face of terror helped expose a predator. If you're new to True Crime Hub, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. We tell true crime stories with empathy, depth, and respect for the people at the center of them. These aren't just cases. They are real lives. Samantha Pierce had always been the kind of person who made others feel at ease. Her laugh was contagious. She brought homemade cookies to the hospital. She had recently graduated with honors from nursing school and had been offered a full-time position at Memorial Hospital in Colorado Springs. It was the fresh start she needed. Her childhood had been marked by hardship. Her father passed away when she was 10, and her mother battled cancer while Samantha was in high school. Becoming a nurse wasn't just a career decision. It was her way of giving back, of turning pain into purpose. She moved into a cozy duplex, one side occupied by an older retired couple who gardened every morning. She felt lucky. The area was quiet, safe. At least, it seemed that way. Her daily routine was consistent. She walked to work when weather allowed. She jogged around the park twice a week. She called her mom every Thursday night. She took care of her cat, Milo, like he was her child. But routine can also make someone vulnerable. Predictable. Kyle Merton was not the kind of man who stood out. Medium height. Thin. Quiet. He worked in construction when jobs were available. He lived alone. He spent a lot of time online, mostly on forums dedicated to surveillance gadgets, urban exploration, and conspiracy theories. He claimed he first saw Samantha at a grocery store. She was buying soup and fruit and stopped to pet a dog outside. That moment, he later wrote in his journal, felt like fate. A few days later, he saw her again, this time in scrubs, walking toward the hospital. He began watching, following, learning. He quickly learned her schedule. He noted what time her lights turned off, what time they came on, where she parked, what she wore, what music she played. He began frequenting the alley behind her duplex. At first, he stood on the sidewalk. Then, one night, he found a stack of crates beside a dumpster. He dragged them under her window, and he watched. Every night became a routine for Kyle. He would dress in black, turn off his phone, approach quietly. He brought binoculars. Sometimes, a small camera. Other times, just his eyes. Inside, Samantha would read a book, play with Milo, call her mom. Normal, comforting things. And yet, outside, a man stood inches from her window, staring through a small crack in the broken latch. Kyle kept a detailed log in his journal. 10:45 p.m. she read The Night Circus again. She's on chapter 19. 11:15 p.m. she laughed in her sleep. She's beautiful. 2:03 a.m. dreaming again. I wish I could see what she sees. He began to believe they shared a connection. He believed she would understand, one day, when he revealed himself, that they were destined. But fantasies have a way of crumbling under reality. Samantha's cat, Milo, began acting strange. He would scratch at the window, hiss in the middle of the night, and stand guard at the foot of the bed. Samantha assumed it was just typical cat behavior. Then the notes started. The first was short, "You looked sad today. I wanted to hug you." The second, "You smell like vanilla and soap. I like it." She told her coworker Jenna. They agreed it was creepy. But Samantha tried to rationalize it. Maybe it was a prank. Maybe a confused patient from the hospital. Still, she called the police. An officer stopped by, took a statement, and reminded her to keep doors and windows locked. No fingerprints. No camera footage. Nothing actionable. Stalking is often misunderstood. It's seen as harmless, non-violent. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Stalkers often develop false intimacy syndrome, a delusion that they are in a mutual relationship with the victim. In Kyle's case, The journal entries became darker, more possessive. She belongs with me. I see it now. She talks to others too much. She's being unfaithful. If I can't have her, no one will. He stopped just watching. He started entering the property. One night, Samantha returned home to find her bedroom light on. She was certain she had turned it off. Another time, she found a piece of her underwear drawer open. She began sleeping with a knife under her pillow. She bought extra locks. She set up a camera on her door but hadn't yet installed one for the alley. She filed another police report. Officers drove by more frequently. Still, Kyle remained undetected, until the night he finally broke in. It was storming. Thunder shook the windows. Samantha, after working a double shift, fell into a deep sleep. Her phone was charging on the nightstand. Around 3:10 a.m., the window creaked open. Milo began growling. Samantha stirred, confused. She saw a figure at the foot of her bed. Her scream pierced the night. The figure lunged. Samantha grabbed her phone, dialing 911 as she ran to the bathroom and locked the door. Police arrived minutes later. Kyle had fled, but they found fingerprints on the windowsill. Detectives quickly matched the prints to Kyle. They searched his home and discovered a chilling shrine. Walls covered in photos of Samantha. Underwear. Receipts. Trash with her name on it. He had a list titled "Steps to Take Before I Bring Her Home." They found rope, a knife, duct tape. It had been escalating for months. At trial, Samantha testified bravely. She faced Kyle in court, describing her trauma, her insomnia, her fear of shadows, her decision to move across the country and change her name. Kyle was convicted on multiple felony counts, sentenced to 20 years without parole. But Samantha would never be the same. She now works with a victims' rights organization. She teaches self-defense. She speaks publicly to raise awareness. This is not just Samantha's story. This is the story of thousands. Every year, over 1 in 6 women in the US report being stalked. Many go unheard. Many are silenced. But stories like Samantha's remind us, we must listen. We must believe. And we must act. If you or someone you know is being stalked, contact the authorities, seek help, and document everything. You are not alone. Subscribe to True Crime Hub for more stories that matter. Like, share, and help spread awareness. Because knowing the signs might save someone's life.